happens is now with the days counting down to the end of the Trump presidency, the one person who was coordinating all of these different joint efforts is no longer in office. So that's going to undoubtedly create some chaos there. That's number one. Number two, in terms of the Capitol Police, I have to say with this particular example, the streets once again were right. There were people that were saying right from the very beginning, the only way this could have happened was that it was an inside job.
This coffee tastes like shit. Dunkin' Donuts is fucking up already.
Damn. So does Dunkin' Donuts run America?
Nah, these niggas.
Nah, they don't. Best coffee. Where do you get the best coffee from? If you don't make it yourself, because making it yourself, you can fuck with the flavor and do all that
I thought
stuff.
it was Dunkin' Donuts.
So Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, Wawa, 7-Eleven.
Starbucks is too expensive.
Where you get the best coffee from?
I thought it was Dunkin' Donuts until they fucked up my coffee.
Either one of you drink coffee? You say Starbucks. You say you don't drink coffee?
You drink it hot or cold? So you get one of them like Frappuccino shits. Them white people drinks. I get it. It's okay. No, don't. It's okay.
It is. So
I had it
are
one
you
time, though.
are you one of those people that doesn't really drink coffee? You drink sugar. Okay.
So there you go.
Okay. I got you.
There you go.
I always hated that because my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend used to do that shit. I would go in, she wanted to get coffee, we go to Starbucks, we go to Dunkin' Donuts or whatever. I just get black coffee, that's all I drink. I don't like milk, I don't like nothing in it. She come out with this thing with foam on top of it and it's 3 colors. And I'm like, what the fuck is it? She's like, try it. And I'm like, tasted it. And I'm like, this is just straight sugar. Like, this is nothing. This is just straight sugar. You don't taste no coffee.
Keeping it 100 though, my shorty, she put me onto some shit called, you know what, I gotta ask her. It's called a Frappuccino something.
Okay.
But it was from Starbucks.
Yeah,
that
of course.
Shit is delicious. That shit is delicious.
I mean, if you get the right stuff like that, when you get Frappuccinos or Espressos or stuff like that, they can be good. But you gotta get the right stuff in them. Like I said, I don't drink them that much, so I really don't know, honestly. Just straight black coffee. 1 cup in the morning. Get me up, get me going. Good to go.
With a cigarette or some cocaine?
I do not do either one of those things.
Okay, all right. You sure?
I'm sure. I used to smoke weed in the morning, but that was it.
Yeah, that's you know what? I kind of find it hard to believe that was your drug of choice, my nigga.
Why?
I don't know. You look like the... Good morning. You look like the... Good morning.
Really? To be fair, it wasn't...
Down.
It wasn't until like the last year and a half. Basically, since quarantine started is when I grew my hair. I like the long-ish hair like this, but I was always like buzz cut or short. So I always look different. But no, I was never...
You was never that
I was
that
never...
guy.
I never even tried that stuff. The only thing outside of weed or... I mean, we talked about this before, like the sleeping pills or muscle relaxers I ever tried is... I think I had like a quarter of a pill of some kind of festival drug. I don't even remember what it was. That's it. That's it. It was me because I was in Atlanta and me and my neighbor were alone on Thanksgiving. And
It was a guy?
It was a guy.
Oh, shit.
He's like, well, he was one of those festival dudes.
You got something to say?
I got nothing to say.
Oh, okay.
Listen to the story. Like, let me finish and stop trying to like interrupt.
My bad.
He's like, all right, we got to do this. Like, we ain't doing nothing else. So we were smoking, and then he did this, and he put on some dance music and was festival dancing and shit. And I was sitting there. I was like, I don't understand why people do this.
And you couldn't do it.
I did it. I was not festival dancing. I was sitting there basically like I was high, and then I started smoking weed again.
Dance, huh?
You know exactly what I'm talking about, though.
That's crazy.
You know it.
know what you're talking about.
Like, it's not even like a thing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They take those drugs and then they start festival dancing.
I know what you're talking about. All right. What we doing here? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the conversation. I am your boy, DJ S. Nice. It's my man, Frank, the white guy. This...
I don't know if that's a good way that I should be described, especially in light of everything that's happening.
Okay. So, Frank, the guy.
The guy. I'm just a guy.
Once again, we're sponsored by Revanche Cognac. Check them out at revanchecognac.com. Available in 18 different states. Tastes delicious to us. You can already see, we already cracked the bottle open. So, yeah. That was in the morning.
It was in the morning because
morning.
we do shoot this at like 10, 11
10 in the
o'clock.
morning. So
So you know if that's
12
open,
o'clock, drunk already.
day drinking. Like we back in college.
I mean, but you know, now with everything that's going on, you got to get drunk in the morning. You can't get drunk at night no more. Got to be home by 10 o'clock.
Yeah, so
what's wrong? What I did wrong?
I didn't say you did anything wrong.
Liquor
You
stores should
just said
open-
you can't drink at night. Wouldn't that be the perfect thing to drink at night? Because everything closed at 10. So by the time you start getting that buzz on, you got to go home. So you got to continue. You
understand.
You can't just go home at 10 o'clock
You
and have a
start
buzz.
drinking at 12 in the afternoon to be home by 10 o'clock at night. They don't want nobody outside. At one point in time, we're not going to be able to be outside past 10 o'clock.
That's now, isn't it?
No, things are closed at 10 o'clock. You can still be outside. If you
Okay,
get caught,
I
then they
thought
fuck with you.
by outside, I thought you meant like out at different
Nah, I'm
places.
talking about outside, period.
Outside. Oh, that reminds me. I saw the commercial for that movie you were talking about a couple weeks ago. Soundbird, Songbird, whatever it's called.
That shit look crazy.
It does look crazy because
crazy.
it came on right after the commercial for that other movie about where people are getting isolated in Greenland or some shit. And I was like, motherfucker.
Songbird, man.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere. I mean, and I'm not in the conspiracy theory thing, but I read somewhere that they actually are gonna build camps for people that have COVID, and they're gonna leave them there in a camp. I don't know if we spoke about that before.
We did not. That's absolutely nuts.
That's how the whole Songbird shit came to mind. But there's conspiracies. I'm not with the conspiracy all the time, but imagine that shit. You got COVID, they snatch you up and put you in this camp, and you got to stay in there for a while.
That would be awful.
But it's supposed to happen.
I mean,
I don't know how true it is.
I don't know.
They're basically saying, the nicest term, they're basically saying we have to separate and kill this virus. So however we can do it, we're going to separate whoever has it and put them in one thing.
See, that I understand. I'm not opposed to the concept of not necessarily putting them in camps, but like separating people to kill off the virus. I got that. That is kind of what they have us doing by ourselves in quarantine anyway.
Right.
But for the government to come out and just start snatching people, how are they going to be able to do that? Because if you don't get tested, they don't know you have it.
Well, of course, you got to report.
Says who?
Whenever you have a COVID test, that's reporting.
Well, yeah, if you have the test, but what happens if I catch COVID and I just feel absolutely terrible and I just ride it out?
I don't tell nobody?
Yeah.
Well,
I just be like, all right, I'm sick. I have what looks like some of the symptoms of COVID. I'm going to quarantine myself. And I tell everybody, but I don't go get tested and I just ride the shit out. Because there's nothing they can give me for it.
Actually, there is a couple of things.
Well, they can give you like the steroid cocktail and stuff.
Correct. Like I heard, they actually got to put you in a ventilator if you're breathing it.
Right. Like if you get that fucked up or stuff like that. Like if I get that fucked up, I got to go to the hospital anyway. And then they're like, all right, you got it. Then I'm screwed.
Right. But if you don't,
if I'm just asymptomatic or if I just like
I got you.
migraines or some stuff, it's like,
So I'm assuming it's basically the people that have been reported, I guess.
It would have to
be the
be.
ones to be like, yo, listen, this guy got COVID. We got to put the thing in the corner somewhere.
Right.
And then that's it. You're in the corner.
Don't put baby in the corner.
What?
You've never heard that?
Yeah, these
You've never heard that? You've never heard that before? That is not something that I just made up. Don't put baby in the corner. Baby don't like being put in the corner.
But
I'm about to say, like, come on.
Why would you even try to say that joke like that?
Because I'm a corny white guy.
The white guy.
I'm not denying or hiding this fact.
The white guy.
Bad jokes, dad jokes.
That's
like
a horrible joke.
It's what we do.
That's a horrible joke. That's horrible. The other one you said, what was that? I forgot what it was. That was funny though. I can't think of it.
I don't even remember. I know what you're talking about.
I'll come back to me later.
I don't remember what it was. All right, but let's start topics since we're talking about this stuff. Let's start with other crazy stuff that's going on in the world. My complexion of people decided they wanted to storm the Capitol. And they got in and videotaped themselves and took pictures of themselves stealing stuff.
And once again, all of them dumbass niggas is getting locked up one by one because I watch reports. And I got Sean King. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. He's just been posting every single body that's been getting locked up for storming the Capitol.
Well, they should. I saw somebody on the news that literally after he stormed the Capitol and went into somebody's office, brought out a document and on NBC, CBS, whatever news was like, I got this. This is not stealing.
He's an idiot.
He's standing in front of like a national news camera with
an
a
idiot.
document that he stole from the
idiot.
Capitol and said,
He's an idiot.
I have this.
Everybody
This
that
is not
stormed
stealing.
that Capitol and everybody
was like,
that
how is that
actually
possible?
took pictures. Everybody that
Somebody
took
stole the
pictures,
podium.
Everybody that took video. Everybody that was stealing podiums. Everybody that was walking out with letters. Anything.
Right.
That
It
is
just
all
doesn't make sense.
federal. That's all
Does not-
federal.
right.
So I don't even think they understand how much shit they about to get
you're
into.
You're not going to prison. You're going to, or you're not going to jail. You're going to prison.
Listen,
you going
they're
to
gonna
federal
they're gonna do
whatever.
some time.
You going?
I mean,
to
depends
federal.
though. Depends. And let me tell you why it all depends. My opinion, because at the end of the day, if they return it, and if they
Do you really think
do
they
an
got out of it?
apology, and
They not.
I don't think they're gonna get. I
They're
don't
not
think.
apologizing. I don't mean getting out of it. Do you think they got out of the Capitol with that minus papers? Because people stole the papers, like the podium and stuff. Do you
Like,
actually
I was
think,
the podium. I don't know if he got out of it.
like that kind of stuff? They try to steal big stuff. You're not getting. They're not going to be.
I
Like,
don't think they're getting out of it.
they sat. Somebody sat there in front of the door and was like, "Dog, you great pictures, but you're not getting out of this building with that. Papers you can stick in your pants, stick in your jacket. Like
I've
they
seen
don't know that.
reports. I've seen reports of how everything. Once again, I don't. We discussed it, but
Yeah,
they confirmed actually that these are all inside jobs by
of course.
police.
How else would they have gotten into the Capitol so easily?
That the Capitol is a large, huge maze. You can't just go in there and
No,
figure out which way to go.
right.
So they were directing these people
You had to
how
know,
which
like,
way
you're
to
not-
go,
yeah, you're
and
not
how to
gonna
walk
find-
in, and
they're
where
not
to go to
gonna-
the offices.
Yeah, they're not gonna find Pelosi's office just on a whim.
One shot, nah. So
Right, and then raid the stuff.
there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on. That whole shit with the Capitol, that shit is a serious situation.
It is
bro.
because me and my parents were talking about this. If they were capable of stopping that vote for more than 24 hours, it would have been a coup. It would have been considered a coup, which is nuts because the next point I brought up is now what's happening in America is what America has been doing to other countries for centuries. We have literally for centuries, we've been sending people in either FBI or CIA or undercover ops or whatever and creating coups. And now it's happening here.
So I was watching Lisa Everts
Right.
from Fox 5 News, Street Soldiers, Hot 97, and she was talking about the fact that basically there's reports that Trump supporters, everybody against this whole situation, everybody that stormed the Capitol, or most people that stormed the Capitol, are actually setting up dates to be able to attack every government courthouse in the United States, in all 50 states. I believe it's coming soon. It's all Fed reports. It's all Fed
What?
reports. Yeah, this is not
For
just
what purpose? What is that going
for
to
the
do?
simple fact that they feel that they want to take back America. They feel America right now is going to shits. I personally, and I'm gonna say this, which that camera, that one. Fuck Trump. I'm gonna say that because that's how I feel. But they're basically saying because of him, that,
It's going to shit.
No, they're saying because he's not the president, this country is going into shits. So they're basically trying to set it up in which they literally are reports, Fed reports, that these dudes are trying to storm every government official office in the United States within the next week or two.
Okay, so a couple of things. One, are these reports detailed enough that they're doing it all at one time, or are they doing it one at a time?
You know what? When I was listening to Lisa Everett's report, she basically stated that it's just reports.
Okay, so they don't know.
They didn't
the
go
plans
into
yet.
detail, but she basically stated it was factual reports
Okay, so
coming from the feds.
right. So number two, I don't know if him not being president is the reason that it's going to shit. I think the reason that it's going to shit is because some of the stuff he is saying that is inciting this stuff happening. Because if he just went away and Biden came up next like he's going to, but Trump wasn't saying any of this stuff, I don't know if you could say it's going to shit. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to...
This shit is going to shits because he is president, basically.
Right, exactly. So him not
Like-
leaving office would not necessarily mean it's going to shit. People have their own opinion. I'm not going to sit here and defend Trump one way or another. I'm just saying him leaving office is not going to make America go to shit. It's what he's saying as he's leaving office. I'll leave it at that. Third, he is part of the reason, again, by what he's saying and how he's inciting people, that the country is where they are. But in the same token, and again, I don't want to defend Trump, and I'm not all into politics and stuff, so I can't speak fully on this stuff. Him as president did do things that no other president has been able to do. I don't know policy-wise and politic-wise how that stuff went over and what happened after the talks, but he was able to talk to some leaders and get stuff happening in the Middle East and North Korea and different stuff that no other president has been able to do.
See, the crazy shit about, and you said that, and I heard that before. The crazy shit about that is that a lot of people feel because Trump is really a businessman.
Right, that he did some good in a business-wise.
Things
business-wise, right.
But every other thing, everything else,
right.
Fuck out of here.
Right,
bro.
exactly. And I agree 100% completely. That's why I said the business-wise stuff that he did do some good business stuff for the country. But everything else he talked about and all the other nonsense that happened, that's on him too. That's on him too. Because this is one thing that I've talked to my parents about because they follow the business side of it more because of their interest in different stuff. They have said all of the good that Trump did, and again, the good was the business side with all the interests and whatever, has been wiped out about tenfold because of what's happened over the last 2 weeks. Right, over the last 2 weeks.
I think the whole show was just period wiped out because I think it just opened his fucking mouth.
Right, but at the same time, you could have not resting on your lawyers, but somebody could have made the argument kind of like I just did in a more detail. Business-wise, he did do some good. Yes, all the other bullshit aside, a little bit of good. But now this stuff, you're never going to hear the good that he did, ever. And again, it was just business-wise. I don't know politics. I don't know exactly what happened afterwards, so I'm going to leave it at that. What I will say now is because of all the bullshit he's doing, social media and the internet has officially canceled Trump.
Oh, yeah, that nigga's done.
You saw that?
No more Twitter.
How he's been banned or restricted on every social media site.
For that. It's too fucking late for that. He was supposed to get banned way before he started tweeting all these stupid ass things.
They've locked his accounts. And it's not just Twitter and Facebook. It's Instagram, it's TikTok, it's Reddit, it's Google, it's like Spotify, it's Shopify, it's like all internet. All internet has gotten rid of Trump.
Yeah,
like you said, it is way too late. But
it's too late for that. They fucked that up. They were supposed to have been shut him down.
They should have. They should have been shut him down.
They kept letting him talk. They kept letting him tweet. I mean, his fucking Twitter fingers talking shit.
Oh yeah.
And then he caused hella fucking ruckus.
He did.
And now they want to shut him down because what? He's about to get off of office? Nah.
Well, because of all this shit, because he basically incited the riot that stormed the Capitol.
He said
which I love how it wasn't a riot. No news station, if they weren't a black reporter or like a black run news station, called it a riot.
They're not showing what really happened. There's video of what really happened.
I understand. I'm not debating that. I just was when I was watching the news when it was on,
breaking shit,
they were not calling it a riot. It wasn't a riot. It was a protest.
These niggas was breaking every fucking thing in their way. I saw video of them breaking things, breaking windows, breaking doors.
I agree.
They wowed the fuck out.
I found that astounding that it was not doing that. And then at the same time, I heard somebody completely not with the riot, but on Twitter talk about ESPN because was it last Monday in the NFL was Black Monday. It's when all the coaches from the bad teams get fired and this, that, and the other thing. So you know Adam Gase from the Jets? Yeah. You know how bad the Jets have been? So Adam Gase, who is absolutely atrocious as a coach and everywhere he's gone, parted ways with his team. And so did a couple other white coaches. I forget the guy's name. It's Anthony something from the Chargers, who is a black head coach, one of the very few in the NFL. He got fired. This is ESPN words. ESPN words. The black coach got fired. All the other white coaches parted ways or had mutual whatever. And somebody said on Twitter, like, ESPN, I see your language. You're not slick. It's the same kind of thing. But in news, this was not a riot. It was a protest. It was a demonstration.
Whatever, man. I'm not too deep for these niggas.
Right. I'm just saying.
I'm not too deep for none of these niggas no more. Like, they just on some other shit. Everybody keeps sweeping things under the rug the best way possible. Nobody wants to call it really what it is. That's the fucked up part of our situation.
Right. Of course. It's people are, yeah. I don't know. I don't have much else to say about it. It's nuts. We're absolutely fucked.
Moving on.
We're absolutely just, yeah.
Now,
I don't know.
Let's see. Hold on.
So let's move on to other business stuff as we were talking about it. We talked about a little bit about this a couple weeks ago with Wayne and a little bit about Buffett. But what do you think about major artists and people selling their catalogs? So over the last, I want to say 2 months, Jimmy Buffett has sold his catalog for $300 million. Lil Wayne has sold his catalog along with parts of Young Money, which included early stuff from Drake and Nicki, for $100 million. Jimmy Iovine just sold his production catalog for $200 million. What do you think about all these people doing it, and why do you think this is happening? What I've heard is people think it's happening because all these major labels, because it's Universal buying this stuff, it's major companies that are doing this, are snatching it up because they are foreseeing something happening within the next 3, 5, 10 years. But nobody knows what it is.
Nobody knows what it is. Like, it's funny because this nigga sold his catalog, Dark Child, the producer Dark Child.
Right, and Dream sold it like 2, 3 years ago.
I've heard of that though.
Really?
I was like, but this was like 2, 3 months ago.
Oh.
I saw an interview that he did. I believe it was on Vlad TV, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Don't quote me.
Right.
But it was an interview.
Yeah.
And he said he sold his catalog.
Right.
But I couldn't understand why.
Right. That's what. So I've heard different things because, like I said, a couple years ago, Dream sold his catalog. So people have been doing this.
Bangers.
Right.
I think it's like
nuts.
the main writer for Jay-Z. You know that.
Well, I didn't know he was the main writer, but I know he's
one of them.
been writers for everybody. He's got crazy hits.
Beyonce.
For not only major artists, but for himself too. It's nuts. But either way, I've noticed that, like I said, over the last couple months, it's been Jimmy Iovine, it's been Wayne, it's been Jimmy Buffett, and I'm sure there's others that I'm missing. I've heard a couple theories. The first one is the one that I told you, that these major companies are snatching all this stuff up either because of streaming or they have some kind of back-end plan that's going to happen in the next couple of years and nobody knows what it is. I've also heard that these older guys like Jimmy Iovine or Jimmy Buffett who are in their 70s, pushing 80, are just cashing out. Like, you've had your run, you have all this stuff. Now, again, you can always give it to your kids, you can give it to your family, X, Y, and Z, but at the same time, okay, as a 75, 70, 80-year-old, you cash out $300 million, $200 million, you good. Like, you don't need all those royalties.
I would have gave it to my kids.
Right.
I would have just gave it to my kids. Like, I would have gave it to my kids.
So what do you think about Jimmy Iovine just selling his production catalog and nothing else? He's still got everything else.
I got everything else, right? I was about to say, because there's more. Jimmy Iovine did a lot more.
Exactly. There's a shit ton more. So he just sold his production.
His production catalog just to be able to get this quick money. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the hell
I'm trying to figure out why they're doing this.
I can't figure out.
Because Wayne sold his catalog and Young Money stuff, so he got early Drake, he got early Nicki, he got his stuff.
Right. But still, yet no definition as to why they doing it.
No. It's just being said that they're doing it.
Yeah, that's something we got to investigate.
But that's the issue, because when you look it up, it doesn't say. It just says company bought artist catalog for around this many millions. Here's what is part of what's included. That's it. It doesn't say why. It doesn't say, it says when, it says who, but it doesn't explain anything else. And it's really the same. I think Universal has bought 2 of them. I think Universal got Buffett and they got Wayne. I don't know who did Iovine. And I don't know who did Dark Child, and I don't remember who did Dream.
He mentioned the company too, now that I think about it, but it was like a weird company that you've never heard of.
Right. That's also there's other companies other than the major ones that are doing this too. So it's clearly for royalties, but is it because something's going to happen with streaming? Is it for movie plays? Is it they got a whole nother thing going? Like, I really have no idea why this is happening, but it's becoming a more normal thing. It seems like everybody's doing it. So which begs the next question, because all these artists are doing it, if they're not cashing out, let's say, do you think that they're in the loop of what's happening and they're going to be part of it?
When I saw that interview, he said he was still part of the whole situation that they were doing when he saw this kind of Rodney Jerkins, Dark Child.
Okay.
But now I'm trying to see exactly what the name of the company was. Hold on.
But what do you think about
Hypnosis? HIPG. They spelled it wrong. They spelled it weird. Hypnosis.
Okay.
That's the name of the company.
Okay.
And they acquired 100% of Ronnie Jerkins' writers, publishing.
Okay.
So, which is a total of 982 songs.
For how much?
But they never said the disclosed amount.
They
Wait,
never
hold
said.
on.
It probably says for around.
Nah, they never said the amount.
Okay. Okay, but
Never said the
either
amount.
way, so these people, because if you take away, I mean, I guess Jimmy Iovine would be the outlier here because he's became like an executive and that kind of stuff, where Buffett and Wayne and Dream, and I'm not 100% sure about Darkchild, didn't necessarily become executives like Iovine did. Do you think that these artists are just unloading their stuff because they aren't getting that kind of numbers from streaming? Do you think they're unloading it because they got an inside track on what's happening next?
They got an inside track of what's happening next. Because there's no fucking way these people are just going to sit here and say, we'll buy it for this amount without knowing what's going to happen with these songs. Now, unless you're telling me that they basically, what else can they possibly do? Unless they're going to flip it on their own way and basically set up something else that's going to flip them $300 million into $300 billion.
But how are you going to do that if I sold you all of my rights? I no longer get royalties on
That's the point
that.
that I'm saying.
I know.
That's
I
what I'm
just,
saying.
I don't know how they're going to flip that because you can't flip it with your music.
I'm saying the
company's going to flip it.
Oh,
they 100% going to flip it.
But doing what? That's the question. That's the main thing I'm trying to figure out.
Right, me too.
They sitting here basically, that's why the question was, do they have a heads up on what's going to happen in the future? That was basically your question, narrowing it down.
Yeah.
I think they do. Because you're not going to sit here.
The companies do 100%. I'm talking about the artists that are selling it.
I mean, the artists that are selling it must basically, you know what? I can't say.
Right.
I don't want to say. I thought you meant the company.
No,
itself.
the companies, I have no doubt, have some
They have-
kind.
they
They
have to
have
have
some
some type
kind of thing in the works, and like I said, within the next 3, 5, 10 years, we're gonna see what they're doing with all these catalogs. That I have no doubt about. I'm talking about the artists.
I mean, an artist is not going to. They're not just going to sit there and sell their situations without being advised by lawyers,
Right.
people like that. So obviously, there's something that was said for them to be able to be like, you know what,
We're
go ahead,
doing
I
this.
trust you. Just
Exactly.
do it. Just sell it.
Right.
So they have to know what's going on.
It's something in the works, and
You telling me this nigga just sold 982 songs that he owned, publishing and everything, just for whatever? Like knowing that he could have that for the rest of his fucking life?
man, I don't know. Like I said, Dream sold his catalog a couple years ago, and I don't even think he sold it for. I don't even think he got 100 for it. Wayne got 100, and that's Wayne, Nicki, and Drake, and other Young Money. So he probably got Tyga in there too. He probably got whoever else was right in there. Buffett is Buffett. That's 300 mil.
Easy.
Jimmy Iovine's publishing got him not publishing, production got him 2. That's not even including his writing and everything else he did.
Right.
There's got to be something in the work.
There's got to be something. That's a mystery.
There.
That's going to be a mystery right there.
We got to figure it out.
We got to figure that one out.
And the issue is you're not going to figure it out until it happens. All of a sudden, you're going to see these companies are like, all right, here. And we're going to be like, oh, shit.
I wonder if it does have to do with streaming.
It's got to have something to do with that in both the artist's eyes and the company's eyes. Because the artists aren't making that much off streaming, no matter how many songs. Even Buffett's not hitting that with all his stuff.
Right.
Even with all his covers and everything else and all his royalties and plays and commercials, he probably not hitting 300 million.
Nah, not on streams.
Definitely not on streams. Even with the commercials and stuff, like Jimmy Buffett's songs are fucking everywhere. 300 million for his whole catalog. I think I saw in that deal, and again, this has nothing to do with the deal, but I think he's got like 16,000 covers of his songs out there, which is nuts.
Nuts, absolutely.
Nuts. 16,000?
Absolutely.
Who gets their stuff covered 16,000 times?
Absolutely nuts.
Which also, speaking of crazy numbers, Lil Nas X Old Town Road is the highest certified song in history, 14 times platinum.
Congrats.
Right?
I'm tired of that song, though.
I haven't heard that song in months, maybe years, but that's nuts.
I'm tired of that song, though.
That song is the highest rated song. Not
I knew
highest
that- I
rated,
knew-
but
I knew
highest.
the nigga was out of here when I seen it. I think it was a Nachos commercial with that song.
Was it Nachos or was it
think-
Sprite?
I think it was Nachos.
It was one of them. It was one of them.
I would say, yo, this guy is out of here with this shit, and that's his only album and single that he dropped like
Well,
that.
he had another single, but it did not do nearly anything that Old Town Road.
Nah, what was that shit called? Panini? Yeah. Nah, not Old Town Road. Old Town Road.
Old Town Road is still being played.
That's for the kids. That shit.
That's
is for
still
the kids.
being played.
That shit is for the kids. You play that shit for any little kid. Them niggas lose their mind.
It's like
just
that.
don't
It's like
bug
that
them.
Baby Shark song.
It's like, nah, not like the Baby Sharks. Like, come on, bro. What is?
You
What's
never.
with the jokes?
That's not a joke. You've never heard that
That
song.
Baby Shark song is
Kids
no way.
love that song.
Kids love
that
it, yes.
song was everywhere. I'm making a comparison. Like,
Oh, okay, so
like,
comparison.
Yeah,
okay.
that's not a joke. Like
Ah,
you
okay,
say,
okay.
kids love that song. Kids love the Baby Shark song. It's that same kind of thing.
You know what? Yeah. you're
Like
right.
you play that Baby Shark song, kids are
Kids are jumping on you.
right.
Nah, Old Town Road basically, yeah, he got that off.
Yeah, he
I
did.
think his whole shit was a gimmick, though, if you think about it. He came out, did Old Town Road, the shit popped off. Next thing you know, he came out the closet, said he was
Came
gay.
in flamboyant
You know what I
cowboy.
mean? Everybody was proud of him. Like, this shit was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at him. This shit was
No, not at all.
perfectly done.
And he really hasn't done music since.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he came,
You think he'll be able to do music?
knocked it out, and killed it. He got to come strong, bro.
think-
You got to
you
think
think he
about
will?
it. What can he possibly do to beat Old Town Road? Nothing.
You think
I
he'll
don't
be,
think so.
You think he'll be able to?
I don't think he's able to.
Do you think he'll release music? Or you think he's just gonna rest on that laurel?
He would have released music by now, don't you think?
When did Old Town Road come out? 2019, right?
Shit is old already. It's over.
Yeah, so it's been about a year.
He needs something new.
Lizzo ain't released music. Lizzo had that huge hit.
Come on, you comparing Lizzo to fucking...
I'm
oh,
comparing big hits around the same time. I'm
I
not
got you.
comparing artists. I'm comparing huge hits that were everywhere and then they haven't released music since.
I got you. Nah, I don't think he got it. I think he's done.
So you think he's just now gonna be a pop personality?
That's it. I think he's just done. I think it's over.
Because at least he's still in the forefront. Where again, if we're comparing just songs and the people that did the songs, Lizzo, you don't even see Lizzo no more. The last time, actually, that's not true. I don't see her, but I did hear that she is now losing weight and people are mad at her
I mean,
because she was repping for the big girls,
For
and
the-
now
repping for the big girls, right.
now she losing weight, so all the big girls are mad.
niggas making fun of her. Come on, you know episode 1. You know what happened in episode 1 with us? Come on, man. Me and Lizzo together, one room.
It's a lot of noise.
That's
in that
a lot
room.
of noise.
It's
my
a lot
nigga.
of noise.
You're gonna get it popping in there. You're gonna get that thing popping in there, man. What you think? Man. And then you got haters talking about she too big. Man, y'all niggas is corny as hell.
That's just, hey man,
Big chicks need it too, my nigga.
I'm never debated that. Just
Big chicks need it too.
you like what you like. Not everybody likes big girls.
You know what?
It's true.
I know you gonna say it.
It's true. Not everybody has
you
their
gonna
taste.
say
Some people like big girls. Some people like big girls. Some people like thick girls. Some people like twigs. It is what it is.
I respect that. I respect
You
it.
like what you like.
I like Lizzo. Lizzo could get it.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Like, what are you gonna
I
do?
know she definitely know how to cook.
What if you found out she don't know how to cook and it was all because of her mom?
I'm just mad as hell.
Like, how mad would you be?
Pissed. I'm just
How
mad as
mad
hell.
would you be?
mad
You
as
want
hell.
her to cook,
I
and
won't
all of
even
a sudden
fuck
you
with her.
find out she don't cook. It was all on her
She
mom.
gotta get the fuck out of my house.
And then her
That's
sister
it.
knew how to cook.
She gotta get out of my house.
That's it. That's over for
gotta
you.
get out of my house.
If
It's
Lizzo, if you got Lizzo and you found out Lizzo don't know how to cook, it's over. That's it.
Yeah, Lizzo gotta get the fuck out. You big for no reason then.
You can be big from genetics and have
Nah.
a genetic
Well, you
problem.
can, but still.
Like, she is bigger than her. I've seen her mom and her sister. She is bigger than both of them.
So she knows how to cook then.
But what if it's just her mom and she just has big, like, her
Big
genes,
meals?
Her genes are just big, and she might have, I don't want to say she has an issue, but she might have, like, what is it, thyroid or whatever gland?
A medical issue.
Maybe but if she's losing weight, she might not.
She
Like,
does-
it could be
Correct.
mad different things. But like I said, because she is bigger than her mom and her sister, but her sister and her mom are not by any means, like, skinny. So
That's interesting.
but
They're
maybe
not skinny, you said.
they're not.
They're big bone, though.
They are. They're not as big as Lizzo, but they are not like skinny.
I'm going to call Lizzo today. I'm going to call her.
Ask her if she know how to cook. If she told you she don't know how to cook and it's all from her mom,
Like, yo, I was talking about you today on the podcast. She probably just hang up on me. Click.
she's like, what podcast?
Right. Who's this?
Yeah.
Who are you? How you get my number? Blocked.
Right.
Nah, but
Very-
Lizzo, shots to you, baby.
Very short conversation.
Lizzo, you already know. Hit me. Bang my line.
You better know how to cook or S Nice gonna be mad.
Know what I'm saying? Remember, bang my line, baby. Bang my line. I'm not afraid of Lizzo.
I didn't say you were afraid.
I want to
of
make
Lizzo.
that noise. I want to make that noise in the
You
room
want to
with
make
her.
that noise,
Correct. Lizzo's my baby.
and then you're gonna have to cook afterwards.
Correct. I'll cook. I don't care. I don't mind cooking. I know how to cook.
I'm just saying.
Moving on.
Hold on. One more thing. That is the best thing if you know how to cook and you surprise your girl with it, and you can actually cook. It works every time.
Oh,
That has never failed for me.
Are you giving me some type of hint about something?
I'm just saying.
This nigga giving me.
You know how to cook. That is
Love
never.
advice.
Listen, that has never failed for me. Every time I have cooked, it's worked out
You know how
perfect.
to cook?
Oh, I know how to cook. I'm Italian.
You know what?
I know how to.
That's
I know
my
how to
fault.
cook.
That's my fault.
Like,
Yeah,
I know
you
how to cook.
Yeah, you know how to cook.
My favorite thing to do is have them over and they're like, "What you cook?" I'm like, "I'm gonna cook pasta and sauce." They like, and then they watch me cook the sauce.
Oh, so you make it from scratch?
Yeah. If you like that, if you're not like that, you just get jar sauce.
You gotta teach me how to do that because I tried to cook one time some pasta and sauce from scratch. I fucked the whole situation up.
That has never failed. If you know how to cook something spectacular like that, it's never gonna fail. But if you're not worth it, you get jar sauce.
This nigga said jar sauce.
Yep.
That's funny.
I will put the jar sauce in a pan and make it look like I cooked the shit, but nah.
jar sauce.
If you special though,
if she's special.
if you special, I will cook the sauce in front of you so you know that it's like that.
If she's special.
If she's special, if you're not special, you get jar sauce. Or I'm just gonna order this shit. Moving on, though.
Moving on.
Music, new music that came out. I'm gonna say not a whole lot of music came out, but there is one standout, Jasmine Sullivan's EP. And it is called an EP because she resents the fact if you call it an album at the moment. It's not an album. It's an EP.
So what, it's only 8 songs?
I'm gonna double check. I don't know how many songs it is because it does.
You already know an EP is a short version of everything else.
It
It's
is,
half of everything.
and it's
So you got
because of the time that it
7
is.
Joints, 8 joints.
It's because of the time that it is. Give me a second. It's only 32 minutes long, which is why it's an EP, but it's counted as 14 songs. But of those 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are interludes and an intro. So
6 are interlude?
6 are interludes, and
The
one
fuck
is an
this?
intro. I will say though,
It's an EP.
it is an EP, and it's only 32 minutes long.
It's an
It
EP.
is a dope album.
It's an EP.
I'm sorry. You're right.
It's not an album.
I'm sorry. It's an EP. It is a dope EP. The crazy part about this, I have to make this caveat because we said this about Meg, how we couldn't listen to Meg's album because of what she was talking about. Jasmine Sullivan's basically talking about the same kind of thing in this EP.
So she's just going in.
She is talking about sex. She is talking about her girl's needs for it. She's talking about being hypnotized by the dick.
She said pause.
She is going in on these topics, and it is called Hotels. It is a dope album. I listened to that thing front to back with no problems.
Let me explain something to you. I said it before, I'm going to say it again.
Okay.
Women are now empowered to talk about what they want to talk about. Before it was men saying how you just want to bust in your face and do all this crazy shit and smack you in the face with it. I'm so sorry, T. I'm sorry.
Damn.
But it's just the fact that, yo,
it is. Yeah.
chicks just said, fuck it. If y'all niggas could talk like that, we could talk like that.
Yeah.
So women are empowered. Women are not afraid no more to share that they want to bust 6, 7 nuts in one night.
And I will say, she does that empowerment on this, but it's not like how Meg and City Girls and them do it, where they're like, yo, I need this. You're gonna
You're
buy
gonna
me
pay
this.
me
It's
for
good.
this.
Right. Jasmine don't do that. She is singing about it. It is like a romanticized version of that. She is not saying that you're gonna pay me this.
She's not as raunchy.
Right. She is basically coming at it the other way. Like, I did this stuff for him because of this. I let him do this because of this. I would run there because of this.
Right.
It's that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's
though.
like a woman empowered version of being hypnotized.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Is
I'm gonna have to
dope.
check it out.
It is dope.
Check it out.
Go check it out.
What's the name of the EP?
Hotels.
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 I have
Like
to
that.
definitely
And
check
spelled
that
like the
out.
French version. French hose.
I'm gonna have to check it out then.
Yes. It is dope.
I'm gonna have to check it out. See what she talk about.
It is incredible.
Little whore.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
I'm gonna move past that because I didn't even fully hear what you said. Moving on. Couple singles came out this week. Other than that, not a whole lot. Division dropped the single. It's pretty cool. You listen to Division? I think we said you don't listen to Division. Not that you don't listen to them, you're just not familiar.
not
with them.
familiar. Not familiar. Not
They
familiar.
are dope. R&B group that does all their own production. They're incredible. Check it out. Even if you don't necessarily like the single, check out the other stuff.
Got you.
They're dope. Russ and Lil Baby came out with a single. I like Russ's part more than Lil Baby's part.
You don't like Lil Baby on this one?
Not on this song particularly. I think Russ did a better job. Are you a fan of Russ?
I've heard of the artist.
Okay.
Not a fan.
Not a fan because you're not.
Not mad at him.
Okay. Are you not a fan because his music is not for you, or just because you're not totally familiar, so you don't know enough?
I'm not
of his
totally
catalog?
familiar. I'm not totally
Okay.
familiar. That's why I'm not totally.
Okay.
There's a lot of new artists out there that I keep hearing names, and I'm like, I've never heard of him. Or
He's not necessarily new. He's definitely been out for a good minute.
okay.
He is one of the only artists I can say that is truly, truly independent. Like, he has everything is himself. He puts it out himself. He's not on a label.
He's not signed to anybody at all.
Nope. It is him.
Put on that grind. Put on that
It-
work. I
that's
like
what
that.
he did. He said he used to, when he started, he would release a song every week and just keep doing it and keep doing it. And then gradually saw, what was it, DistroKid, I think is what he would use, that his songs just kept going up and up and up and up and up. Now he was, because nobody's going out no more, but he was selling out shows. He was doing it big overseas. His stuff is crazy. He's got millions of plays on distro. Like, he's one of the only artists that can literally sit in his house and make money from his music and be cool.
That's what's up. You know what's crazy? Niggas like that, artists like that, can talk all the shit they want
Oh, he does.
because they did it from the bottom up with nobody
Yeah.
helping them.
And he did.
Artists like that, you could appreciate. You could appreciate the struggle.
I do. And
you
I
could
like I
appreciate their
said,
story.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't have nothing, then they came up on their own.
Yeah.
I like that. I like shit
I've
like
heard
that.
I've heard his story. I've heard him talk, and that's really what he talks about. He always talks about doing it himself, not taking nothing from nobody, really struggling with him and his boys and his family and doing all this stuff, and how he did it himself, and then he popped off, and it's still just him and his team.
That's what's up.
I will say I'm kind of like you. I'm more familiar with him than you are, but I'm not fully familiar of his whole catalog.
Right.
And for me, it really goes back and forth. I'm not gonna sit there and say I listen to all of his stuff, that I play all of his stuff, but I do listen to him when he drops stuff.
Right.
Not something I always go back to, but he is a dope artist. He's one of those artists that can rap and he can melodize, if that's a word.
Melodyne, you mean?
Melodize.
Melodyne.
Not like he can use melodies.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand what you meant.
Well, I'm just making sure.
I knew what you meant.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, not gonna say he's the best singer, but you could definitely hear Russ's songs and projects and think he's an R&B act.
Right.
But then you can also hear projects and songs and think he's a straight rapper. He's definitely, and he used to. I don't know if he still does. He used to do all of his production. I don't know if he's got help on that anymore. But it's an okay song. Like I said, I like Russ better than Lil Baby, but Lil Baby is definitely hit and miss for me, depending on how he's rapping and what he's rapping about.
Right.
But that's me. I know you're a Lil Baby fan, but
I mean, I'm not a fan, but I like Little Baby.
yeah, I'm not mad at Lil Baby, but
I told you my era is not this music is not I mean, I play it because I have to.
Right.
I'm a DJ.
Yeah, you got to know what's
I
up.
gotta
It's
do what I
the
gotta do.
Same thing like me. I'm an
gotta know
A&R.
what's
I have
hot.
to know what this music sounds like.
Correct. But if you just put me in a room with just 90s and 80s, and
Oh, we good.
forget about
I'm
it.
in the same way.
Put me in a different room. Put me in a different category. That's why I love that radio station that I told you about.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Next single, Sweetie and Doja Cat. Sweetie, how do you pronounce that? I always pronounce
Sway Lee.
No, not Sway Lee, the girl. Sweetie.
Okay.
I
Sweetie.
I
thought it
always
was
pronounce
Sweetie.
it wrong. I am so sorry.
I thought it was Sweetie.
It's Sweetie? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Thought it was
sorry.
Sweetie.
It's just
But
the
she
wa-
spells it.
She
a
spells
different
it
way.
weird, and that's why I always get it wrong. I sincerely apologize. I always get that name wrong. Every time, I always get it wrong.
It's okay, bro. It's all right, bro.
People spell their names all type of ways.
Don't she fuck with That's why them niggas from
One of the Migos, the one
One of
that's
the Migos?
the one that's not with Cardi. Who's the other one?
the one that's not recorded. It's common sense, my nigga. The retarded one.
What's his name? Because I don't.
Can't even-
Yeah, see, thank
think
you.
of his name.
Like it's the other one. It's the one not with Cardi.
So it's Offset.
It's Offset, Quavo, and Takeoff.
She go with Quavo, I think.
Is that who she with?
I think she fuck with Quavo.
Sure.
Right? Or nobody knows.
Anybody know?
Nobody in this room knows.
Peanut Gallery? No? Okay, great.
I think it is. Hold on. Pause
Awesome
that.
reporting, guys.
Pause that for a second.
Nah, we can keep going. Because I'll just, I listen to it, it is what it is. It's not a bad song.
Yeah.
but
It's Quavo.
It's Quavo? Okay, cool.
That guy. I know, because I keep seeing his face. I see glasses. So Quavo.
They all wear glasses.
Nah, he be having the
Describing
dope glasses, like the
describing
weird glasses.
Amigos, the black
guy with
guy,
the glasses.
black guy with glasses and chains.
And the chains and the tattoo.
Yes.
Quavo. She'll fuck with Quavo. That I know. But she been fucking with Quavo for a minute, though.
Yeah, she has been. I'm not up on.
I seen some shit that,
Culture.
she was talking mad shit on the gram. Talking about if a nigga don't fuck with you and get you bags. You know what? Don't even matter. I don't even know why I just went there with it. Never mind. Continue on.
Because it's what we were talking
I
about
just
with,
don't
the,
like
with
that
the last
whole,
girls.
That
It's
whole bullshit is just crazy, but
City
whatever.
Girls and Meg, and that's what we got to talk about.
She was just on some other shit, like talking mad shit too. If a nigga don't get you bags,
Listen,
nigga get
I
a
read this
bag,
thing.
fuck a nigga that can't get you a bag. Don't fuck with a nigga that can't
I
get
read
you
this
a
thing
bag.
from
I was like, yo,
a new artist,
what is happening?
from a new female artist from Houston that's coming up. She describes her music as sex music. And it's because she's talking about this stuff. It's what City Girls, it's what Meg, it's what they're talking about.
Right.
And that's what she considers her music. So it's just, that's the first time I've ever heard it categorized like that. But it makes sense now, because that is what they're talking about.
Right.
It makes sense. It's just, it's weird. If I feel like another double standard, don't hate me for this. Please, don't hate me for this, all cameras, everybody listening. But if a man probably called it sex music, I don't know if it would be taken the same way.
It wouldn't.
It would either be considered...
Unless you're an R&B artist. Hold up.
Yeah, but then that's a different kind of sex. If a
Unless
rapper
you're-
said I'm making sex music,
Yeah, no.
you're going to think it's sexist or degrading or whatever. Anyway, 2 other projects that came out. I'll touch on one real quickly. What's his name? Mac Ayers. I heard he's a dope artist. I have to listen to it. I have not really dove into his stuff yet, but I heard one song. It was really dope. I liked it. I would say check him out, because I know you probably, unless you heard of him, you listen to him.
Who?
Mac Ayers. No? Okay. Like I said, I heard one song on another show. It's pretty dope. I got to go listen to it. Last project that I listened to that came out is the Griselda soundtrack for the new movie coming out. Conflicted. Griselda's putting out a movie entitled Conflicted. They dropped the soundtrack, and the soundtrack has a whole bunch of people on it. It is exactly the kind of music that you would want to listen to. It's got, of course, all the people in Griselda, Westside, Benny. It's also got Ransom. It's got Banks on it. It's got Dave East on it. It's got Smoke Dizza on it. It's got Bully James on it. It's got their other artist, Armani Caesar, on it.
You know what's crazy, my nigga?
And Wale's on it. Yes. Or no. But what's crazy? A lot of things. Sorry. Wow. That's so bad.
Pause for
I hate
a
when that
second.
happens.
Nah, you already know what it is with me. My whole brain is fucked up. Especially after I do what I do on Mondays. Hold on. You just said something and it just threw me off.
Griselda album. Whole bunch of
There we go.
stuff.
There we go. All right. I know it's crazy, my nigga. Like I told you before, I never listened to Griselda.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure I'm off today. I'm not doing anything.
Those are awesome days. Those are beautiful days.
I'm gonna make sure I listen
to Griselda.
Today.
Because I think we've talked about them on every other
Because
other podcast.
No, every podcast. Not every other. Every podcast
I
has
can't
come
help
up.
that every time we do a podcast, they release new music.
Last
Like,
podcast
it's-
with Rashid. Shout out to Rashid. Shout out to Buck Wild. Appreciate ya.
Yep.
Last podcast with them, we spoke about Griselda.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, they just came out Griselda. Like,
They mentioned
whoa.
it, not me.
Not-
I'm usually
right,
the one to do
right,
it. I didn't do
right.
it last week. It was them,
Right. Last week, they mentioned it themselves, not you.
not me.
So I definitely got to check him out. I got to listen to Griselda. I got to see what it is, what's going on, what's it talk about. I
West
want to see
Side
what
Gun,
the talk is.
Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher.
I got to check them out.
All three of them are independent art, not independent. All three of them are individual artists. Together, they are Griselda. They also got this girl named Armani Caesar, who's also dope. But they release projects individually and as Griselda. And I can't help that every time we do a podcast, they release another project.
I need to listen to
They
them.
release projects
I need to
all
listen
the
to
time.
them. I need
All
to
the time.
I need to
It's-
see what that talk is about. I need to see what that talk is
It's
about.
the music that you would listen to. It is
I need
exactly
to see what that
that.
talk is. I
It
need to
is-
see what that is.
It is crazy.
I need to definitely see what that talk is about.
Right.
Griselda.
Griselda.
And once again, shout outs to Rashid. Sinners and Saints out now. Go cop it.
Another
Don't
dope.
stream it. Don't stream it.
Right.
Cop it. Show support.
Right. Another
St.
dope.
New Jersey 07055. You already know what it is.
That was another dope album.
Dope album.
Dope album.
Dope album.
Listen to it a couple times.
Definitely a dope album.
It was definitely dope. So again, not a whole lot of music. Still coming off the holidays, so it's kind of slow for everything. A couple things we can mention real quick. College football playoff was last night. Did you watch it at all?
No.
No, a little bit. Alabama beat the brakes off Ohio State last night.
What was the score?
52-24.
Damn.
I went to bed at halftime. It was 35-17. Like I said, Heisman winner. First time in 29 years was a receiver. His name is Devontae Smith from Alabama. In the first half of last night's game, he had 12 catches, 215 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's in a half. In one half. Destroyed them. Had no shot. It was close for about a quarter. And then Alabama decided it's time for them to play football. Next thing, just because I'll mention these real quick because it's coming back. NBA is having COVID issues. They've had to cancel 3 games in the last week due to COVID because each team did not have enough players. So I don't know how that's going to affect the season. I don't know how that's going to affect things moving forward. They're not talking about shutting down or going back into a bubble, but it is something to monitor and be mindful of. What else? NHL is trying to start up. They're having COVID issues. I think I read somewhere that if they continue to have issues and don't shut down, it's going to cost them $1 billion to try to play the season, shutting games down left and right, which is absolutely insane. Division playoffs are this week. We got.
So hold on. Since we talk about football, because this is the only thing that I saw on the rewind. The motherfucking Browns beat the brakes out of the Steelers.
You want to know what's crazy? Outside of that first quarter, it wasn't that bad.
It looked horrible, my nigga.
I will say I turned that game on and it was terrible.
It looked horrible.
It was terrible. The first quarter, Browns put up 28 points. The Browns didn't have some of their key players and didn't have their head coach. They were destroying the Steelers, 28-0 in the first quarter. Most amount of points ever scored in the first quarter in a playoff game.
You want to know OBJ too?
Well, he's been out the whole season, so that one I put to the side.
But remember, I haven't been watching.
No, I know, I got you. But yeah, the bigger part was they did it without their star offensive lineman and their head coach. That was the bigger message from there. But yeah, OBJ's been hurt for a while, so they've kind of learned to play without him. So I got that part. The final score though,
They were
They
down by like 6 points. There was
right.
like 36.
They I think they lost by 10 points.
It was something
I
like
think
that.
the Steelers lost by 10 points.
But you know what's also crazy? Oh shit! I lost my train of thought again. Yo, I'm telling you, this should be bugging with me, son.
All right, so while you think of that, division games this weekend, we got Rams and Packers, we got Bucks and Saints, we got Bills and Ravens, and we got Browns and Chiefs. Those are our division games. I'm gonna say right now, my picks, I don't think the Browns stand a chance against the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is gonna.
He's gonna run through them niggas.
Patrick
like
Mahomes is gonna Patrick Mahomes.
He's gonna Patrick Mahomes.
There's no other way to describe it. It's
Yo,
ridiculous.
the Bucks might do it, son. I'm gonna just go ahead and skip ahead. That's what I was gonna say.
Bucks and Saints.
Bucks might do it.
It is the first time there is a playoff game with two quarterbacks facing each other that are over 40 years old, with Drew Brees and Tom Brady.
Bucks might do it.
Tom Brady is trying to show that he can do it without Belichick, which he's kind of been. He's kind of been wavering this year.
That's the point.
Drew Brees has been said, and he hasn't said this, but it's been stated that he might retire after the season. So they're trying to go out on a high note for him. The Bucks are looking to be the first team to ever play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. I will say
They might do it.
the Saints have beaten the brakes off of the Bucks the two times they played them this year. It was not even close. I think the Saints defense is playing better than the Bucks defense, and I don't think the Bucks offensive line is going to hold up against the Saints defensive line and linebackers.
Nah, that's your opinion, my nigga. At the end of the day, you gotta
Everything's
understand.
my opinion.
Like, so much has happened. So much football has been played already. Like, if I'm gonna just go ahead and talk the way I'm supposed to talk with that talk,
Yeah.
So a lot of football has been played.
Yes.
Yes, at the very beginning, if you want to do it the way you want, if you want to think of it that way, the Saints did what they had to do. Okay, fine. But now it's a different type of situation now. Niggas is trying to go for the Super Bowl. Niggas is trying to go to the playoffs. Saints lost players. People were hurt, weren't they?
They were COVID and they all came back last week.
They all came back last week.
Yeah. And they played really well.
Nah, I don't know.
Michael Thomas came back, played for the first time in like 5 weeks, had 100 yards and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara came back off of COVID list after missing the last game of the season. He had, I think, 2 touchdowns. Drew Brees was throwing it all over the place, and the defense was shutting down the Bears. Granted, the Bears don't have the best offense.
Yeah, the Bears, come on. You're comparing that to the Bears.
I'm just saying who they played. I can't compare it to whatever.
Listen,
that's who they played. I can't do anything about that.
This is a completely different situation.
But
brother.
they've played twice this year, and it hasn't even been close.
Let's try this again. Maybe in English. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. This is a completely different situation now. You got to understand, this is now the playoffs.
Yes.
Shit changes when it comes to the playoffs.
Right.
Brady is a monster.
He is, but he doesn't play defense, and the Bucks defense has been slack in the second half of the season.
I think shit gonna change. I think they might do something different. They might come out. Remember, you get inspired.
I will say the one advantage the Bucks have is that they're playing in the Superdome without fans. Well, not without fans, but with less fans.
Less fans.
So the Saints are playing at home, but there's not as many fans. If they were playing in the Superdome with a packed stadium,
it'd been different.
Bucks have no chance.
Yeah, it would have been different.
Bucks have a chance because there's not fans and they can communicate. But I still think the Saints are going to get them, just because I think the Saints.
Wait and see, brother.
I think it's going to be based on the defense. You're right. We're going to wait. You're going to wait and see. And this is only my opinion, but I think the Saints defense is better than a Bucks defense right now. And that's going to be the difference in it. I don't think Tom Brady is going to be able to go against the Bucks pass as much as he needs to, because their offensive line won't hold up as well as the Saints offensive line will. My opinion, that's what I think. I think Saints are going to win. And then in the other NFC game, it's the Packers and who did I just say? Who are the Packers playing? Damn.
Yeah, that's that weed.
I don't smoke anymore. I don't smoke anymore. Shit. I
See?
gotta
You
look
just
it
went
up.
blank.
I forget. But while I'm thinking about that, the other AFC game, because we already touched on the Chiefs game, is the Bills and the Ravens. The Ravens just came off a win. Lamar Jackson had his first playoff win in his career last week. They ran the ball. Oh, it's the Rams. Okay, I'll get back to that in a second. Ran the ball all over the Titans, and their defense shut down Derrick Henry. They are now playing the Bills. I don't know if their Ravens defense will be able to shut down Josh Allen. But here's my thing. It's going to come down again to the defense. The Ravens have to stop the passing game of Josh Allen and the Bills because they cannot run the ball. The Bills defense have to stop the running game of Lamar Jackson and J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards because they can't really pass the ball. It is in Buffalo, so it's going to be cold. There's not going to be a whole lot of fans there, but there will be enough that it might make a little bit of a difference. I don't think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are going to be affected by the cold because every year they have to play in Pittsburgh, in Cleveland, and in Cincinnati. Lamar Jackson came from Louisville. It is cold there.
So he's used to that shit.
He is. So the cold is not going to be as effective as a team like LA, the Rams, going to Green Bay. That is my toss-up. I don't know. I want to say the Bills because their offense has been crazy the last couple weeks and last half of the season, but they cannot run the ball.
And that's when you got to think about Lamar Jackson.
And that's what I'm saying, because they can run the ball, but their passing game has not been great. So, and the Bills got a good defense. The Ravens have a better defense. So that's a toss-up. I'm going to give not everybody, they're giving the edge to the Bills right now. I'm inclined to say the Ravens because I think they can wear them down with the run. And I think if you shut down Stephon Diggs, Allen really don't have nobody to throw the ball to. And they have no running game other than Josh Allen. And you can't run your quarterback all the time unless, of course, you're Lamar Jackson, which is different. I think the Ravens are going to win that game. And I think so that puts the Ravens and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. If that's the case, Chiefs win again. Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl.
It is. That's a great call, my nigga.
But the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. That's what it is. I think so. That's what I got in AFC. We just spoke about the first NFC game. You think Tampa. I think Saints. Second game is the LA Rams against the Green Bay Packers. This one is another slight toss-up for me. It's going to depend on what the Rams have going. Because last week, their starting quarterback, who was their backup for most of the year, got hurt with a neck injury. I don't know if he's going to play. Their starting quarterback, Jared Goff, 12 days ago before the game, so on Sunday, so it's about 2 weeks ago at this point, had thumb surgery on his throwing hand and played with 3 pins in his thumb. He did not look great. They can run the ball, but one of their top receivers, Cooper Kupp, left the game with a leg injury. I don't know if he's going to play. Their best player, and not even close, the best defensive player in the NFL, Aaron Donald, left the game with a rib or ab injury. Nothing's been said about that. I don't know if he's going to play.
This is all for the Rams.
This is all for the Rams. If all of those players play and are close to, if they're over 80%, I'm inclined to lean towards the Rams because Green Bay's defense is atrocious.
Facts.
And Jalen Ramsey can limit and or shut down Devontae Adams. I have no doubts about that. And Green Bay's best offensive lineman is not playing. So if Aaron Donald and that defensive line gets after Aaron Rodgers, it's a wrap. They also got lucky. It's only supposed to be about 40 to 50 degrees, so it's not even going to be that cold in Green Bay, where it's usually like 3 degrees and snowing.
So over what you just said, basically, I'm gonna give it to Green Bay.
I'm gonna give it to Green Bay.
Like if I had to bet money,
right?
If I had to sit there and look at a bookie,
if I have to look,
I'll give it to Green Bay.
If I have to look at a bookie, I'm not making that call until Saturday night, Sunday morning. Well, it depends on when they play. If they play on Saturday morning. If they play on Sunday, it's Sunday morning, and that's because I have to know
the report
where all those players are playing.
Yeah, the report.
If Aaron Donald is 80+% and Jared Goff is cool and Cooper Kupp's playing, I'm giving it to the Rams because they can shut down the Packers.
I got you.
None of them are playing. it's Packers hands down
Packers
because
all
that
day.
defense ain't going to hold up.
Yeah,
And the
Packers all day.
offense for the Rams is not
Packers
that great
all
if
day.
those players aren't playing. So right now in the NFC, I'm going to go with the Saints, and I'm going to go with, like you said, the Packers until I hear the report. So that could change, but that leaves the Packers and the Saints in the championship game. That in the NFC championship game, that would be played in New Orleans. I'm going to give that to New Orleans because, again, Green Bay's defense is atrocious, and the Saints defense can shut down Aaron Rodgers if need be. So that puts the Saints and Drew Brees against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl in Tampa. And I'm going to say, based strictly on the fact that if that happens, Drew Brees is that'll be his last game and they want to send him out, Saints are going to win.
It's a good call.
That's what I think.
That's a great call, actually.
That is what I think. So right now, I have the Saints winning the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. I will say, I don't see that changing because I don't think the Rams offense can hold up against the Saints defense, and Drew Brees could do better against the Rams defense, even though that'll be a close game. But that is only if all those players I just mentioned are off the injury report and play against the Packers. Anything to add to that? No, we're good. We will reconvene on that next week after these division games and make other picks in case we're wrong. Other than that, I think we covered everything. You got anything else we want to add? I don't think we need to touch on Kim and Kanye.
Fuck them.
Because Kim is divorcing Kanye because he had some kind of relationship with Jeffrey whatever, and Jeffrey whatever said that's not even true. I've never met Kanye in my life. That is all I'm going to say about that. So on that note, I don't think we got anything else. Be sure to join the conversation on all social media networks, all social media platforms. We are streaming everywhere. Spotify,
Everywhere.
Apple, Google.
Everywhere
you can listen to stuff. Anything else you want to add?
DJ S Nice. Follow me. YNVS DJs. YNVS DJs on Instagram. Hit me. Follow.
Shout out to Revanche Cognac. Join the conversation with us every week. Thanks for joining us.
Peace.